very rarely do we show up in a Super Bowl city and talk NBA, but this was the conversation a few weeks ago when Rich Eisen show, friend of the program and your friend from back in the day in Syracuse,
That's right.
Dave McMenamin, one of the reporters at ESPN covering the NBA, he came on the show to walk us through how he got the quote from LeBron about how it would be amazing if Anthony Davis could be a teammate, which is, as you know, not kosher to say that sort of thing if you're in management, but he's a team member. And McMenamin said he strolled into the Lakers locker room while LeBron was doing he said he was getting stretched or he's working out on the floor of the locker room or something like that.
Something like
and
that.
He looked up at the screen. They were watching ESPN at the time, and it was off camera saying something along the lines of Anthony Davis playing for the Lakers or whatever. And he said, LeBron turned to him and said, "Do you know something I don't?" And he goes, "I have no idea." And he just basically said, "Well, that would be amazing." And then proceeded to opine a little bit more about how great Anthony Davis is. And McMenamin said he asked LeBron, "Hey, can I take that as an on-the-record remark?" And LeBron, knowing at that point in time what that would mean, said, "Sure." Now, LeBron's agent, Rich Paul, happens to be Anthony Davis's agent. And at the time, we had Chris Mannix on the show in studio a few weeks later, and he pointed out, keep an eye on the trade deadline because the Celtics, due to some rule that Chris is about to explain to us, again, if you're unfamiliar, Celtics can't trade for Anthony Davis now, but could do it in the summer, can't do it now. So the question is Rich Paul, the agent of Anthony Davis, coming out and telling Adrian Wojnarowski of ESPN, telling Woj, hey, not only is he not going to sign here again with New Orleans, but we've demanded a trade. Is he doing that now to put the Lakers in a better pole position for Anthony Davis? So I'm like, okay, we're here in Atlanta at Super Bowl 53 week. We're going to be talking about this all week, but let's get Chris Mannix back on the phone here. And the NBA insider, Chris Mannix from Yahoo Sports, is back here on the what is it? Sports Illustrated now. Okay, Sports Illustrated. Back here on the program. How are you, Chris?
I'm good, Rich. How you doing?
Did I set that up? Appropriately? Did I miss anything right there, Chris?
No, I don't think you missed anything. Look, the bottom line with all this, just to explain the rule for Boston, to boil it down pretty simply, contractually, per the collective bargaining agreement, the Celtics can't have Kyrie Irving and Anthony Davis on the roster. There's just a rule in place that says those two guys, because of the type of contracts they have, you can't have two of those types of contracts on the roster. So the Celtics, with Kyrie Irving opting out at the end of the year, won't have that problem. They do have that problem. So if they want to keep Kyrie and Davis, they can't make a move like that. Now, this announcement by Rich Paul, this is all driven towards getting a deal done with the Lakers because it's very clear inside Anthony Davis's camp that they want him with L.A. and they want him playing with LeBron. And they know that if Boston's allowed to get involved this summer, the Celtics can blow any offer from the Lakers out of the water. It's as simple as that. They have more assets. They've got better players. They've got better draft picks. They've got a Memphis pick, Rich. And Memphis right now is in the process of like their 14th self-destruction, since their incarnation. The Memphis pick is top 8 protected this year, top 6 protected next year, and unprotected in 2021. So Boston can also offer a potentially unprotected 2021 pick from a bad team in a deal with Anthony Davis. So the Lakers, this is all designed so that the Lakers get an opportunity before the Celtics can get in the mix to convince New Orleans to make a deal.
Because, by opening the kimono like this, Chris, I imagine in Anthony Davis, it's not going to go very smooth in the Smoothie King arena, right? When he strolls back out there again in New Orleans. This is
it's going to be. Look, it could get pretty ugly over the next few months if Anthony Davis stays with the Pelicans. That's why, to a degree, it surprised me because I know Anthony Davis cares about his image. This is the first time that he's ever made any kind of even hint at wanting out of New Orleans. And it could get pretty bad for him there. I mean, look, he could have waited until the offseason and simply declined the contract extension offer. That has the same impact as a trade demand, because if Anthony Davis says, no, I'm not going to sign your long-term extension, the Pelicans would have no other choice. In a way, Davis could save some face there. But it's clear that whether it's him or it's Rich Paul, there's an emphasis on getting him to L.A. sooner rather than later. Now, all that being said, it would be the equivalent of executive malpractice for the Pelicans to make a deal right now before the trade deadline. Boston's out there, and Boston can throw Jason Tatum, who's the best player in any package. They can throw multiple draft picks. They can make you the best type of offer. And this deal, Rich, this is Herschel Walker. This is going to be, in my opinion, the biggest deal in NBA history. You've got his prime superstar who's got maybe 10 years left of being at the highest level. This is the type of deal that's going to make or break the future of your franchise. And it would be lunacy for the Pelicans to make a deal like this before Boston get involved.
And, so all they have to do is just hold on for dear life for, 2.5 months, unless New Orleans somehow, amidst all this, makes a playoff race, right? So they just basically have to hold on for 2.5 months, because what sort of package could the Lakers even put together? Certainly with everybody all banged up. Lonzo's out for a long time. Kuzma didn't even play last night. So, I mean, even in the short term, how could they come up with something that would be something for Dell Demps, the general manager, to say yes to?
The Lakers could certainly offer a good package, and nobody's off limits in L.A. It's Kuzma, it's Ingram, it's Ball, it's their number one pick and multiple draft picks even down the line. But it doesn't matter. If Boston wants to get into the mix, look at all they have. They've got Tatum, they've got Brown, they've got Marcus Smart, and they've got all these draft picks. I mean, it probably won't shake out this way, but they could have as many as 4 first-round picks in this upcoming draft. I mean, it makes zero sense. Not to mention, who knows if there's a mystery team out there? Who knows if, say, the Chicago Bulls get the number one pick in the draft, and all of a sudden New Orleans is so hell-bent on getting Zion Williamson to rebuild their franchise around. It just doesn't make any sense. It's going to be tough, but what's that old line? Close your eyes and think of England. Like, that's what the Pelicans have to do over the next few months.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.